Michael Chammas, Sydney Morning Herald reports NRL, Brian, and we're both very blessed to have played over in the Northern Hemisphere. NRL to buy a stake in Super League. The NRL's on the verge of completing a formal partnership with the English game in a bid to revive the competition. Now, this is nice, but it's also a little bit problematic because not everyone will be involved. And you know how passionate they are. Castleford, Huddersfield, Wakefield. Thoughts?
Well, they're saying, is this so? If the NRL buy 33%, are they going to? Is it them proposing this new look competition? You know, the Londons and the France. Is it us pushing this, or
Of course it is. Yeah, 33%. But
we're pushing the new teams, the new clubs.
Well, okay. South Sydney Chief Executive Blake Solly, West Tigers counterpart Shane Richardson have emerged as a driving force behind the purchase. The NRL has agreed to consider a proposal to buy a third stake in the Super League on the proviso it gets complete administrative control of the struggling competition.
Okay.
From 2028, which if I'm in England, I love that. But equally, I'm concerned that maybe I'll be left out. NRL bosses agreed to a secret meeting with Wigan owner Mike Danson. So I think Wigan and Mike are pretty sweet.
Yeah, Warrington will be sweet.
And Warrington owner Simon Moran in Las Vegas 5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so,
but I'm sort of agree with it because at the moment the clubs. The game over there is on its knees with sponsors.
Yep.
So I understand there was one company a couple of years ago that went to a certain club and put their name on the jersey, and they didn't have to pay a Zac.
Oh.
All they had to do, it was all about the logistics. So they would set up the clubs,
wow.
set up the games, cater it.
Yep.
But there was no money. It was all contra deals. So you can't survive on that. So we need the game strong in the north of England.
So, okay.
And it's getting weaker and weaker.
Okay, so I can see this happening. I actually think it will happen. Do you?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And that's what they do. Peter V'landys, Abdo, NRL.
Distressed businesses.
Yes.
And I understand he wants to help the game over there, but also, if they're going to be putting money in, they want a return on their investment.
I know, but there's going to be some
clubs that
casualties.
Yep, there will be.
Which is quite sad. So the big thing I have for you is this.
If all clubs go, if all the competition went, that would be worse than a couple of other clubs just folding.
True. Let me ask you this, Brian. So we've both played there, so we understand how important it is to those, particularly in Northern England.
Yep, agreed.
But it's not working out, and it hasn't worked out, but it can go to the new level, and Peter V'landys, he could get a broomstick and say, oh, mate, you're looking pretty fit, and he'd probably train it to win the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Right. So it can happen, but there's going to be casualties.
Yep.
Okay. So the average – let's talk about the medium – people talk about the cap and the soft cap.
Yep.
The soft cap is those not playing, basically, the coaches and the coaching staff.
Physios.
Yes.
Yep.
The soft cap currently in the Super League for the middle table team would be maybe 50 employees versus what we have here is 200 maybe. Would you say that?
Oh, I don't think it'd be that high, would it?
Oh, mate, it would be.
But you're not taking in sales and stuff, are you? Are you talking about everything?
I'm talking about
the football club.
The median team in the Super League right now may have 50 employees.
Oh, geez, I think that's a lot. I think we'd have 50 in
what?
City clubs.
Mate, Trent Robinson 5 years ago when they went back to back, 18-19, they used the number 196 or something like that, and that number was everyone involved in the club.
But are you talking about the day-to-day running of it? Are you talking about so you've got the sales people?
Yeah, not the on-field. The whole thing.
Okay. The football club.
Yes.
Oh, geez, 200? I don't know the answer.
In the NRL?
Yeah.
Easily, Brian.
Per club.
Easily. Now,
I wouldn't think it was that. I don't know. But if you're telling me 200,
6 years ago, that was the number.
okay.
That's the point.
Well, someone out there, they'll know. Someone out there. Is there any people?
I know. I'm telling you now.
So you're saying per club they have 200 people working in a rugby league club.
In the NRL.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's all the way down to the juniors as well. Are you talking about, for example,
All
Tigers,
the jobs. Marketing, sales.
Down to the kids, like SG
Coaches, play, all of it, yes.
Down to the juniors.
No, we're not counting players playing.
I'm not talking about players.
No.
I'm talking about juniors down to the 16 coaches.
Operationally.
Coaches?
Yes.
All right.
Every club, I think, at the National Rugby League would have close to 200.
Wow, all right.
And I think the Super League, the median would be
50, right.
50 or less.
Righto.
Which is huge. It is really huge.
What's your point here? You're saying that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
No, my point is that Volandis would know this, and to get it in, sadly they can't all survive.
No.
They can't. So even the St Helens, the Wiggins, the Warringtons, the big clubs,
Leeds, they'll survive.
Yes, they will survive.
But you're thinking the NRL will come in and cut the arse out of the business
to
turn a profit.
Yeah, but instead of St Helens, Wigan, Warrington having 80 staff, they'll have 200.
Right. Oh, okay.
To go global, that's what we need to do.
Right.
Yes or no?
Do you see any? Do you see any clubs sending their kids over there to get them experience?
Of course, mate.
So what happens to the New South Wales Cup? What happens to the Jersey Flags and stuff?
Keeps going.
But if you're a good young kid,
yep,
you're not quite ready for first grade. Are you sending them over there?
Okay, so Mawene Hiroti is a good example.
Yeah.
So this kid's been bopping away for 8 years, 10 years. He got a start in first grade last. He's the ideal player who should be over there. If they had a kind of partnership, it'd be enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's just so far away, I suppose. That's the. But why are the NRL doing it? I know that they're saying it's to make sure the international game is as strong, but they're not putting their money in without them making an earn somewhere along the line.
Well, nor should they. Would you?
Yeah. No.
No, nor should they. My question is this. The biggest obstacle, and whatever they do, if they're doing a European Super League, for example, will they go promotion relegation? So those people in the north of England, all they know in NRL or rugby league or soccer, it is promotion relegation.
I don't think they will. I feel it's going to be what
I know.
I feel it's going to be what Super League wanted in 1995, where it's just 10 teams.
Yes.
No promotion.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do that, and they lock out big clubs. Say they do that, and they bring in a couple of teams from France, Italy, Greece, whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah, Greece.
But then there are key teams on the precipice in England who miss out. Maybe it's Castleford, Widnes, Salford.
You'd think there'd be a League One.
Yeah, but if there's no promotion relegation,
no, it wouldn't be.
There will be anarchy on the streets because they are not used to how we live the game.
This just broke from Reed and your man.
Breaking news, the full package. Ryan, the full package.
Carrying on, it's the Daily Telegraph.
Yeah.
Manly set to offer Jamal Fogarty a 2-year deal worth more than $1 million, with the Raiders unlikely to take up the halfback's 1-year option for next season.
Oh.
So Canberra, they had until...
More than $1 million. Of course it's more than $1 million.
Yeah.
Of course.
Canberra...
Sorry, go back. A 2-year deal worth, At the moment, it'll be around, he's on about 700 at the Raiders.
Yeah. So Canberra have until this weekend to let Fogarty know. There was the ratchet clause, the round 6.
Yeah.
Canberra could extend him. However, they are reluctant to do that because they because they don't want to stand in his way to see if they'll find a multi-year deal because he's been such a great servant for the club, according to Carianis and Reed.
So he's gone. He's gone.
It sounds like Jamal may be gone.
Western Webb.
Fogarty, he has now. If the contract, if the clause is waived now, before round 6, Fogarty still has a clause until round 20 in which he can stay at Canberra.
So there's two
but
clauses inbuilt in his contract.
It's Christmas every day.
Santa squared.
Yeah.
Wow. So
he can
Santa
stay.
squared.
But that will obviously be less. I think it's
bizarre.
500 that he'll be on if he takes the Raiders round 20 deal.
Okay.
Whereas he'll more likely get more money
if he goes
to somewhere else, such as Manly Seagulls. They were rumoured to be looking after.
Okay.
So it'd be
him,
less,
DCE
wouldn't
left.
it? It'd be a lot less. The
round 21.
Yeah, of course.
So unless they're going to put their faith in the Ethans, the Saunders and Strange variety, he is 32 at the end of the year. He'd be 32 going into next year. So maybe the Raiders think, well, we've got these kids on here. Apparently, by all reports, Ethan Sanders is going to be a terrific half.
Yep.
Whether or not he can handle the week in, week out. But
We don't know.
they're going to maybe try going that way. So,
Brian, if you're a bird and the bird was an eagle or a seagull or a rooster, would you, for 2 years, think about this?
Jamal?
Yep.
If I'm the Roosters, I would be putting all my eggs. There's another player.
In a dolphin?
I don't think the Dolphin will leave.
Oh, the dolphin won't leave?
I think that's scuttlebutt.
Okay, Isaac Katoa we're talking about. Yep.
I feel the DCE, I'd be putting all my eggs into that basket rather than Jamal.
Okay, so...
Now, I'm speaking as a back rower.
Yeah.
I would prefer DCE. You being a fullback / winger, who would you rather?
Oh, you know what? It all relates to the price, Brian. So if, hypothetically...
Price will be irrelevant when we're talking
Daily
about this
Cherry
one.
Evans turns up at said Rooster.
Yeah.
Price will be irrelevant there.
Irrelevant.
What would be the signing on the other side over the Spit Bridge, factoring in tolls?
I'll say 700. I'll say Fogarty is on 700 now with the Raiders. It seems
He's a great pickup.
Yeah, the Raiders are balking at that price.
Okay, we're asking the wrong questions. Can you win a competition with Fogarty?
Yes, I reckon you could, but you need Tommy to be fit.
Yes. So you can.
Constantly
The
fit.
answer is yes.
But not by himself. Not by himself.
Okay, so halfback-wise, you can win a comp with Isaiah Katoa, yes?
Hang on, what team are we talking about? I need
Any team. I'm saying, can you win a comp with this halfback?
Oh, geez, that's a tough
He
question.
can win a comp, can't he? Jamal Fogarty can win a comp.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he can.
In the right system.
Okay.
In the right system.
All right. That article, thanks to
Chad Townsend won a grand final. So
Brent Reid, they call him Loafer Bread, and Brian, the full package.
Yeah, I saw him at the footy on Friday. He was running into he just runs everywhere. I love it.
Oh, he's a mad runner.
That's why he looks so good.
He's a mad runner.
People mocked me saying, who's the hottest journo?
Yep.
People said it has to be Braith.
Yep.
Nuh-uh.
No.
It's the full package.
Full package.
MC.
Carrianis.
Great calves, too.
Oh, great calves.
Yeah.
The Parramatta fans will be less happy about some certain news trickling through.
Yeah, I repeated that earlier. Dan Christian, he's a terrific man. Zac Lomax is going to be out for 6 weeks. So he's ruled out for the game in Darwin. It's a huge...
How many weeks?
5 to 7. So I'm just going bang in the middle. It's also a blow to New South Wales.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Origin 1 is... How long ago? 7 weeks today, so he might be a little bit unfit. The problem is with your foot, you've got to stay off it.
Brian, somebody said to me, they said, how do you fit all... It was Roasty, actually, the great Roasty, Dino. He said, how do you fit the outside backs into the New South Wales team? I said, Dino, Roasty, it just always works out.
Yeah, there'll be an injury.
There'll be someone out. There'll be suspensions. It always works out.
Yeah, well, you would think Tommy's not going to be there.
But do you ever remember an outside back? Like, when was the last time when you thought, oh, they've been hard done by? It doesn't happen. It just works out.
Oh, you mean a player who doesn't get picked?
It just works out. Every year it just works out.
Yeah, but then we always, that's not a bad point.
Every year it works out. Look, no one ever says, oh, geez, he's hard done by.
All right, everyone fit.
Yep.
Who's your centres? Knowing what certain players have done in Origin before. Just give me your two first two come to your mind.
Latrell and Crichton.
Oh.
Who have you got?
Tommy and Latrell.
Right. I've got Tommy on the wing.
Okay.
Edwards fullback.
Tommy on the wing. Who's your other winger?
Toll.
What about Zac Lomax? He's fit.
Oh.
It all works out.
It all works out, right?
It all works out.
It all works out.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.